Well, hello, hello, hello. My name is Ozella Toms, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Toms Serenity Acres. I wanted to take the time to update you on some exciting things that's going on in our lives. This is Friday, is what we call our day of preparation. Our family observes the Sabbath, so that means on Saturday during the day light, we don't cook, clean, we don't wash clothes, we don't spend any money. And so on Fridays, we prepare for our Sabbath day by making sure our home is clean, our clothes are washed, we have food prepared, we've purchased all the things we need. We also have a Bible class on Saturdays with others who observe the Sabbath. And after our Bible class, we have lunch. And so we rotate weeks on which family is going to make sure we have the food to eat afterwards. And this is our week. And so when Michael got home from work, he cooked some steaks for dinner, but he also cooked grilled some food for lunch tomorrow. And I prepared our breakfast for tomorrow. So just making sure we have the things we need to eat, what we needed to eat tonight, and also tomorrow throughout the day. And so we just finished dinner, and I told Michael I need to go up and shoot a quick video to update our folks on what is going on with us. So as y'all know, we just got back from North Carolina about a week ago, and we were not really happy with that visit. We went to view some properties, but either we couldn't get close enough to the property to really get a look of the properties, or there was just a lack of properties to view. Our realtor really didn't take the time to plan out and make sure we had some things to look at because we were coming in town to look at properties. And we were in town for like 4 days, and we just didn't feel like it was worth the trip, far as resources, time, energy. I mean, we say that, but I think maybe it really was worth it because we were able to kind of think about differently what we should do or what we want in properties. And so maybe, we didn't see anything there we wanted, um, but it kind of solidified a little bit more what we do want. And so after that trip, Michael said we really need to think about looking at Mississippi or South Carolina or Alabama. He said property is very, economical in those states, and these are states that pretty much have warm climates, which is what we wanted. And that's one of the reasons why we were picking North Carolina is because we lived there for a number of years. Michael was from there, but it has a pretty mild climate all year round. So we wanted mild climate, warm, no winters, no Midwest winters that we were trying to get rid of. And so we came back still looking at notices from North Carolina, but we really started looking aggressively in Alabama and in South Carolina and in Mississippi. We tend to see more things we liked in Alabama and Mississippi, not too much in South Carolina, and the prices were definitely a little bit more. But one thing we were noticing in Mississippi is that for the for the amount we would pay for acreage, a lot of this property came already cleared, or a good majority of it cleared. Some came with city water. Some already had some septic on the property, although they didn't have any homes on the property, or maybe they had mobile homes and they moved them. And so we were seeing in Mississippi, there tend to be um, better prices, but also what came with the property was a little bit more, or the fact that some of it was cleared, which would reduce our expenses. So we did talk to a realtor in Alabama about a couple of properties. We talked to a realtor in Mississippi. So we saw one particular house the other day, particular piece of property the other day, a couple of days ago, and it had 15.4 acres, a modular home with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and kitchen, really huge kitchen, living room, dining room area, nice little flow, and a 2017 build. So still fairly new for a mobile home. And I called and talked to the realtor, asked him, told him I was interested in the property, asked him, did he have any offers on the property at this point? He said no. He said several people had viewed the property because it was listing at a really good price point for the acreage and the home. It's still pretty new. And he said he had two people that were trying to get funding from the bank. And I said, okay. I said, well, we would be making a cash offer. So I did assure him of that. I had to like prove we had funds to make a cash offer. And Michael and I, really talked about it. And so he said he would video chat us the property because we were in we're in Michigan and this land is in Mississippi. So yesterday he let us know he was going to the house and he'd be there in about an hour and will be available. I said sure. I said I'm available. Michael's working, but I'm available. I'll record it and play it for Michael when he gets home from work. So the realtor called, super nice guy. We talked for about 18, 20 minutes. And he's walking around the house, walking around the property, telling me this neighbor is way over there. If you see that tree over here, that's where the main road is. You're a nice little ways for the main road. He showed me like 5 acres is cleared over here. You can do your farming over here. Just really, just really amazing how he's doing this and just telling about, pointing the neighbors out who are a nice little distance, but you still could kind of see their houses in the distance. So super nice guy, and I said you have to go outside and you can because you can see the pond. This property has a half-acre pond, and Michael has talked about a pond forever. And so I said you got to go outside so I can show Michael this pond. But in addition to this property, we also had talked to him about some acreage that a gentleman had. He said this gentleman has about 40 acres to sell, and if we bought at least 10, we could probably get good deal on the acreage. And so in addition to this one piece of property he was at, he also had another connection for us. But after Michael got home and saw the video, he was like, "We got to make an offer. Let's make an offer." And so we called the realtor. I said, well, "Mike, should we wait till tomorrow morning?" Which would have been this morning. I said, "Should we wait till tomorrow morning and kind of sleep on it?" He was like, "No, no, no. We got to get on this. We can't. We need to probably get on this." So Michael calls the guy and talked to me. He said, "Now we have funds to purchase this home." And again, it was a little bit over the asking. Our budget, again, we want to be debt free. Our budget was a little bit less than what they were asking for. And so he said, we have money to make an offer on this. He said, but we don't want to offer all we have. This is at the top of our budget. And we don't want to offer all we have because we need to put a deck on the back of this modular and a porch on the front. And the realtor's like, I understand. Um, so he said, this is what so we told him we want to offer. He said, well, I'll reach out to the seller and I'll let you know. And so Michael said, we'll be up late. So an hour later, we get a call, we get a text from the realtor, and he said um, the seller came back with what do you call it? A proposal, a rebid, counter offer. And so he countered about 14,000 more than where we offered. So then we came back a little bit more, came back more, and then he came back bringing us up. And so we end up accepting his offer, his second counter offer, but that was this morning. So we didn't know until this morning that we had another counter offer coming to bed, obviously, and woke up and the wrote a text back this morning what he countered, and we said we accept. So now we're just waiting to get the paperwork together. He said he's going to send over some disclosures and things of that nature, and we can kind of get it going, get it under contract so to be pending. And then we will be headed down to Mississippi this week to look at the property, spend a couple days in the area, in the neighborhood, kind of get a feel for it as much as we can for a couple of days. And we'll be there about 2.5 days. And we're also hoping to get the inspector to inspect their home while we are there, and also the survey person to come out and do the survey. So really just trying to get those things done while we were there so we can kind of hear what's going on with the house, check it out with the inspector and all of that. So yeah, so that's the news. We are almost under contract for a piece of property in Mississippi, 15.4 acres, modular home, 3 bed, 2 bath, open concept, 2017, with a half-acre pond in the back. About 7 acres of it is cleared, so we have plenty of room to do the things we need to do right now and not have to worry about getting things cleared. We already, of course, have septic. There's water, electric, everything we need because there's a home there. So really excited about that. So our next video will be some footage, hopefully from Mississippi, some footage of the land and just the area, and letting you know how everything goes with the survey and the inspection. We're hoping to get those things done while we're there, but it really just depends on the folks' schedules. All right, until next time, I definitely appreciate you listening to me on this Friday night video. And take care of yourselves. If you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to our channel. Have a good night.